Welcome to another week in my epic journey. I'm creating a live set from scratch to one day play my own music at a festival in front of thousands of people. I started the week as usual by opening the project, but soon I would find out things were not going to run as smooth as I wanted. Anyways, in the end, the track ended up completely different and I like it even more now. Let me know in the comments what you think in the end. Well, seems like my old Mac is having none of this nonsense and it decided to crash Ableton. What could possibly be causing it? It might be more simple than you and I thought, but first things first. I just bought a brand new second-hand keyboard. I've been feeling lately that I need to have a keyboard so that I can more easily express and play my thoughts and ideas. The computer, keyboard and pad just feel too slow to keep up with my in-the-moment inspiration. So I decided to buy an Arturia KeyStep 37 because it is small enough to cram in a camper van, this van, and enough keys for me to play to have some depth and space for expression. On Tuesday, I deleted everything. Well, not everything. I decided to delete the arrangement I had done and instead went back to the loop to make it more interesting. And that's when I started going down the rabbit hole. I decided to finally address my crappy clap. So I quickly searched through sounds that I liked, adjust some settings, and this was the result. Then I added some variation to the hi-hats, and then another clap, because I like claps. After, I just sprinkled a little bit of tambourine because I was feeling naughty, a little tweak here and there. Onto the cowbell. Again, I'm focusing on just having small tweaks that will make a difference in the overall sound, but nothing too extreme. Just a bit of variation to make the whole beat sound organic and more alive. And now, the signature ride. Oh, I love to add some rides. I feel they add that extra swingy, swishy, cool type sound that makes my head bob. No, not you, Bob. I added some LFO, which is this wavy thing that makes anything go up and down, and in this case I connected it to the pitch of the ride, which will make the sound go up and down just a small amount to make the sound come alive. It's quite subtle though, but the end result of all these tiny adjustments is going to make it sound much better. Later in the video I'll show a comparison of the before and after with all the elements for you to see the difference. So I proceeded to add some reverb, a side chain to the kick with this compressor to give it this pumpy feel. And then, here's where things start getting interesting. I was playing around with these ambient noise effects that I created, and I felt this urge to get my brand new second-hand keyboard out and play it. Oh boy, was I in for a ride. After I connected it, of course. Again, it is subtle, but in the end, it makes all the difference. I was feeling inspired and excited to play the piano, so I came up with another chord progression that made me feel something because the one I had at that point still didn't convince me enough. This tune came out of the bat. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. So now that I have this new chord progression, I need to rearrange all the other elements' notes because they won't fit anymore. So I started with the bass, then proceeded to play the arpeggiator notes, which is one of my favorite things to do. I took out my battered Akai to play around with the automation settings on the arp. And time's up. Wednesday I made no music, but we did have a nice trip to a nearby castle. Oh, wait a second, I never showed you the difference of the before and after. Here you go. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's proceed with the castle trip. It was a really nice and pleasant walk with my family. The views at the top are amazing, you'll see in the end. I'm quite happy with the direction this track is taking, but I still think there's some work to be done. I want to really go deep with the variations within the elements, creating an interesting experience all the way, like it keeps evolving. I'm still figuring out what to do though. It feels so exciting to be on this journey, and even though sometimes doubt creeps in, I managed to pick myself together and continue to thread these unknown paths. For the rest of the week, I did some tweaks here and there. I did record the screen of me doing it, but when I heard the clips, I recorded with no sound. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and want to follow along the journey, give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you enjoyed most this week. Seriously, it would mean a lot to get your feedback. Again, thanks so much for the support, and I'll see you next week. Bye.